Assalamualaikum and very good morning to everyone and Madam Lucia. So today we are from Group 6 tutorial on Monday 11 a.m. I would like to present you about our assignment to compare and contrast two or more leadership style. And who is in the group? Like I mentioned before, me myself, Rahida binti Ismail, Nur Karira Ain binti Azman, Nur Fatia Ayuni binti Abdul Razak, and also Azir Atika binti Zaidi. So list of content for our presentations consists of 4, which is introduction, 4 leadership style, compare and contrast, and the last one is conclusion.
Assalamualaikum and good evening to Madam Jusia and everyone. My name is Nur Karira Ain Naziba binti Azman, PT10603. Will intro to you the leadership. Leadership can be defined as the act of leading a group of people or organization, and another meaning of it on an individual level to be a leader or even to be a leader to a group of organization. But who introduced to us about the term leadership, which is Warren Bennis. He was before written about 30 books about leadership, and one of his famous quotes in his written books, which is "Leader is created rather than be born." And if you know, there are some roles that in leadership need to be complete, like must create a goal for the organization or country, while also encouraging others to carry out their responsibility with greater confidence and patience. And as you know, leadership act as a father, assisting in the organization of each assignment for his group, allowing them to carry out the task properly. And everyone may know there are every benefit if you have these leadership terms, which is improve your business performance, the capacity to recruit and retain professional in your organization or your business, and a higher customer satisfaction rate. That's all for me. Thank you.
So hello everyone. So I would like to introduce and explain about bureaucratic style leadership. So bureaucratic leadership style is a hierarchical management structure with fixed status, and also it was produced and postulated by Max Weber in 1947, and the bureaucratic leadership framework has proven to be a dependable means of administering organization. And bureaucratic leadership is based on 6 core tenets, which is hierarchy of authority, divisions of labor, proper selections, career orientations, rules and regulations, and the last one is impersonality. So the characteristics of a natural bureaucratic leader include the ability to write precise instructions for the member of a group and the expectations that this individual will adhere to a strict set of norms. There is some example that show the bureaucratic style of leadership. One of the example is from Colin Powell. Colin is yet another well-known figure who achieved political success by employing the bureaucratic leadership style. His leadership model has its foundations firmly planted in the military, a public institution that is well known for its consistent applications of the bureaucratic system of administration. So Colin displayed exceptional leadership ability, which resulted in him being promoted to the general in the United States Army and Secretary of State. So now I will explain about participatory democracy. So participatory democracy is the leadership or the style with two names. It has gained popularity in recent decades. It's from the 1930s and 1940s. So the term participatory democracy refers to a subset of the democratic political system, which is in and of itself a form of government. So the Greek idiom is where the English word democracy comes from. Direct democracy and representative democracy are two primary varieties that fall under this category. So the primary objective of participatory democracy is to allow citizens to take part in the decision-making process regarding issues relevant to their everyday lives.
In authoritarian leadership style, only one individual has complete authority and control over his or her followers, Authoritarian leaders make decisions primarily on their own plan and seldom seek advice from others. Furthermore, authoritarian leadership styles can be useful in particular situations. The efficiency of an authoritarian style is determined by the circumstances, the qualities of the members, and the type of work the members does. Authoritarian leaders are effective in organizations that are through major changes, when organizations require quick and precise conclusions, and when the organization does not condone shortcomings. It is said that someone who is likely to apply an authoritarian leadership style tend to have an authoritarian personality. A person with an authoritarian personality respects authority and is more prone to be loyal to the people in positions of power. Those with an authoritative personality were more likely to be aggressive to those who of lower status, yet subservient to those of higher status. The authoritarian person enjoys being the influence and motivation, but if he or she is not a strong ruler, he or she will show entire allegiance to another dominant authority figure. Benito Mussolini, Adolf Hitler, Kim Jong-un, Richard Nixon, and President Lyndon B. Johnson are all examples of authoritarian leaders. Transactional leadership is also referred to as management leadership, is concerned with the function of leadership, organization, and team effectiveness. This theory, proposed by Max Weber in 1947, approaches leadership from a behavioral standpoint, relying on the rewards and punishment system. Leaders who use this strategy concentrate on specific tasks and motivate followers through rewards and punishments. These leaders are preoccupied with contingent reward or contingent punishment. Contingent rewards, such as recognition, are given when the specified goals are fulfilled on time or to encourage team members to work at decent pace at various stages of completion. When productivity, quantity, and quality fall beyond production necessities or targets, and duties are never completed at all, contingent punishments such as suspensions are imposed. Transactional leaders keep their eyes closed on their followers in order to enforce guidelines, recognize accomplishments, and penalize failures. These leaders are talented at defining requirements and goals that maximize an organization's performance and effectiveness. The transactional leadership style is thought to be inefficient but not horrible for achieving maximal leadership capabilities. It serves as the foundation for more stable relationships, but leaders must be careful not to use it solely, otherwise it will result in the establishment of a workplace surrounded by status, power, benefits, and political. Many high-ranking military officers and CEOs of massive global corporations are renowned to be transactional leaders. Norman, Vince Lombardi, Bill Gates, and Howard Schultz are all examples of transactional leaders.
Assalamualaikum and good morning to Madam and everyone. I'm Azian Afika binti Zaidi with matrix number BP21110395. I'm now presenting the similarities and comparison of these leadership styles. Even if the names of these leadership styles differ, there are certain similarities between them. Firstly, participatory, democratic, and transactional leadership styles were led by a team-oriented leader. These leaders would be more concerned with the effectiveness of the team members, the strength of the organization's members. Aside from that, both of these leadership styles place high value on communication among members. This could involve being open and honest with one another about their views or opinions, as well as being an active listener, often known as two-way communication. Following that, both bureaucratic and transactional leadership styles make decisions without bias. This is because leaders of this leadership style make decisions based on facts. Despite the fact that transactional leaders emphasize teamwork, the leader will still make a good consideration or reasoning before making a decision for the organization. The same goes for bureaucratic bosses, because bureaucracy is more concerned with enforcing laws and regulations. Leaders will make final choices based on the rules that have been adopted without regard for any members of the organization. Furthermore, because the leaders are unbiased, the problem's judgment are always made quickly and undecisively. Next, we are moving to the comparison. Many disparities existed between bureaucratic and participative democratic systems. Most bureaucratic heads are appointed by the President of the government. They are frequently supported by higher or superior levels of the bureaucratic chain of command, such as cabinet members or independent agencies. Meanwhile, there will be a vote day for participatory democracy. Candidates from all parties will begin campaigning before the voting day in most democratic countries, whether fully or partially democratic, such as New Zealand, Japan, the United States, and Malaysia. At the end of the voting day, the candidate with the most or highest number of votes would be elected as the leader. Aside from that, democratic leaders are primarily responsible for selecting members of the organization and establishing who has the opportunity to weigh in on decisions, whereas bureaucracy often focuses on the hierarchy of the organization's members. Furthermore, the bureaucratic leader would focus on and heavily rely on regulations to offer staff with a clear moralistic framework as they insist on enforcing the laws and norms. Most members of the organization do not enjoy freedom of expression since they must follow the policies that have been established. Participatory democracy, on the other hand, would allow members to participate in activities. They are also encouraged to express their thoughts and foster in-depth discussions among the leader and the organization's members. Following that, bureaucracy is generally inferred in a non-government or independent entity. This is because these organizations prefer to pass on their legacy to their descendants rather than to unknown individuals. However, participatory democracy can be witnessed and applied in a variety of places or settings, such as among students in a school or university. Next, most bureaucratic leadership styles require all members of the organization to collaborate in order to actualize the organization's vision and achieve its goals. As previously said, this leadership had a hierarchical management structure with definite roles because they had to follow the regulations that had been established. Meanwhile, because they are restricted by laws, participatory democracy leaders are expected to display their creative side. Also, authoritarian and participatory democratic organizations had a clash when it came to the ideas or opinions of their members. Authoritarian leaders had to discuss members' ideas and initiatives on a frequent basis. This will save the leader's time because it is designed to think quickly most of the time. In the case of participatory democracy, the leader will be open to fresh ideas and suggestions. There are several contrasts between authoritarian and transactional leadership styles that should be highlighted. First and foremost, as the term implies, authoritarian leaders have complete control over the organization they oversee. Authoritarian leadership styles, in other words, have entire authority over their decision-making. On the contrary, transactional leadership styles emphasize teamwork. Their leader would provide additional chances and opportunities for the organization members to think and participate in decision-making. Following that, authoritarian leadership is more practical when organizations require immediate and accurate judgments, as just the leader is required to make the decision. Transactional leaders, on the other hand, are useful in crisis situations where the attention must be on accomplishing specific duties. This is because this leadership style is more concerned with the process than with ideas. Leaders can also ensure that tasks are complete by delegating particular tasks to specific personnel. That's all from me. Thank you.
Thank you, the presenter. And here I will conclude for today. And here, as we can see, this leadership style has an influence not only the leaders but also the organization or the people under the country. And this leadership might be some flaws, but if some effort from the leaders, some effort from the organization itself can to attempt to make it successful, and of course the goals can be reached, and the benefit from leadership can be attained by all these people, and competent leaders may boost a company to be the finest leaders. And here we go, let's go leaders. Hope we can be a leaders, the finest leaders in the future. Thank you.
So that's all from group 6. We would like to say thank you for listening and stay safe and bye bye.